I already know what you're thinking. Jordan's become a conspiracy theorist. Jordan has officially lost it. You're wrong. Jordan has officially found it. Or at the very least, Jordan, I don't know why I'm talking about myself in third person. I am starting to piece together this world, this matrix. Now, first of all, before I get into what the matrix is and how you can escape from it, I want to tell a little story that helped me come to this realization. The realization that I'm going to be sharing with you in this video. So a few days ago, I did a live stream with a fellow YouTuber by the name of Joe Million. Shout out to him, and go and watch the stream that me and him did together. We provided a lot of value. But one thing that stuck out to me in that stream, something that he said, was that he makes music in addition to his self-development videos, but he doesn't make music about self-development. He said, and this is his words, not mine, but he told me that he makes music about the regular rap stuff. Okay? Girls, killing, money, things like that. And it resonated with me at a pretty deep level because anytime I've ever tried to freestyle, those are the things that I talk about. That's my default state of being. When you throw that beat on, you'd be surprised at how much I change as a person. And it kind of messed me up because I started wondering where that discrepancy comes from. Because if that beat's not on, that's not the type of frame of mind that I'm in. That's not my default state of being. Even when I write poetry, when I make these videos, you guys don't hear me talking about these things. I don't glorify hookup culture. I don't glorify greed and all of this stuff. At least I try not to anyways. So why is it that when you throw on a beat, the first inclination is to start talking about these things? It's simple. Programming. Okay, the reason why when you throw on a beat, I start rapping about those types of topics, even though they don't actually pertain to my day-to-day life, is because that's what I'm used to consuming. I listen to enough rappers rap about those things to believe that that's the reality of life as a young black man. And I'm living proof that that's not necessarily true, but it's still embedded within my subconscious mind. It's deep within my subconscious mind. That is a prime example of the matrix. Okay, the matrix, to be as simple as possible, is a system that is designed to keep you in place. That is what the matrix is. This is not any conspiracy theorist stuff. This is just a simple fact. It's designed to keep you where you are. Now, a lot of people, they understand that aspect of the matrix because there's enough content out there that explains how the media programs you, but I'll give you a brief overview. For those of you who are completely unfamiliar with the notion of the matrix, basically, the matrix is propagated through content. It's propagated through content. And this is all for the sake of money and power. It's all for the sake of money and power. I won't talk about the elites or the Illuminati or anything like that because that's kind of beyond my jurisdiction. I don't really know anything about that, nor do I really care to know anything about that. Because to me, the most important knowledge is in understanding the mechanics of it. Okay, basically, they utilize content, especially in this day and age with social media and quick and easy access to content at any time of the day, no matter what your demographic is. They leverage that accessibility to content to program people at a rate that we have never seen before. Okay, they enable and propagate groupthink amongst people. And what does this groupthink do? This groupthink facilitates the belief that we are inadequate. That is where they want to keep us. Now, like I said, it's not my place to say who they are. That's beyond my scope of interest, if you will. But nevertheless, I understand the mechanics of it. They are utilizing media to make you feel inadequate. But not only are they utilizing media to make you feel inadequate, they are programming the users of the media to program each other. So for example, to my point earlier about rappers, I hear a lot of rappers talk about money and drugs and women and killing and things like that. And they are programming people like me, people like you, anyone who listens to that type of music. They are programming us. I grew up listening to rap. During my formative years, I grew up listening to rap every single day, not just listening to it, but watching the music videos on MTV. And although I do have a lot of nostalgic memories associated with those music videos, in retrospect, I see why I have some of the inclinations toward materialism that I have now, amongst other things, that is. So, in other words, we are being programmed through these different forms of media, whether it be music, movies, or social media, even at the level of the regular average person who's posting about their life on Facebook, posting the top 0.001% of their life on Facebook. We are being programmed by these people to be made to feel inadequate. Why is that? Because that enables those people to solve our problems. You see, a big part of the reason why capitalism works the way that it does is because they are literally manufacturing problems and keeping us in that place through the perpetuation of this content, the reinforcement of this content, the promotion of this content. Why is it that conscious rappers never really blow up the same way that trap rappers do? It's because we are being programmed to enjoy specific types of music. That's what they're feeding us. And over time, you learn to enjoy that. That is the media matrix in a nutshell. But what a lot of content creators or a lot of woke people don't really enlighten you guys about is the matrix within. This is where the real change occurs. You see, a lot of people, they focus on what's outside of themselves. They're constantly focused on other people's lives, and that is precisely where they want to keep you. Like I said, the matrix is a system that is designed to keep you in place. But at the same time, their matrix, the media matrix, only has as much influence as you allow it to with your own inner matrix. What is the inner matrix? Your inner matrix is the scope, the framework through which you view your reality. It is a collection of your perceptions, your conclusions about the world, the agreements that you've made with yourself, about yourself, and by extension, about the world at large. Because generally speaking, we view the world relative to the way that we view ourselves. So for example, if you have pessimistic ideals, you have pessimistic notions about yourself as it pertains to dating, you'll probably project those pessimistic notions into your outer world. And this is what gives rise to the red pill and black pill communities. You have groupthink. You have groups of people who come together to reinforce, to perpetuate the self-perceptions that they've developed. Because guess what? People don't like to be wrong about themselves. So they seek out these communities of people who see things precisely as they do. And this is exactly what the creators of the media matrix want you to do. Because through division, they're able to conquer, divide and conquer. What are they conquering? They're conquering your subconscious minds. This is where spiritual warfare takes place, is in your subconscious mind. It's a battle over your subconscious mind, real estate within your unconscious mind. You see, your subconscious mind is where you create your reality. It's where you determine how you will perceive the reality around you. For example, if you notice, the news is 99% negative. Any news station, it's almost always negative. They'll always put just enough good news to keep you coming back because they want to instill hope within you. But hope is the false version of faith. You see, and hope is contingent on the notion that there's a possibility that the universe is not conspiring in your favor. That's a whole different discussion. But in other words, they are utilizing these negative emotions to seep into your subconscious mind, to tap into your subconscious mind and directly influence your subconscious thought patterns. And then what? Once they influence or alter your subconscious thought patterns, which account for the vast majority of the actions that you take, they can then control your behavior. They control your behavior. Like I said, they are keeping you where you are. They are keeping you on the treadmill by using your own mind against you, by using your own insecurities against you. We all have some form of trauma. Nobody lives a perfect life. Nobody had a perfect childhood. But we all have the responsibility of clearing that trauma, of cleansing ourselves of that trauma. And that is the only way that you can become immune to the media matrix. Because, for example, okay, if I go and read the comment section of this video right here, and I see negative comments, those comments can only affect me if I already have negative perceptions about myself. They can only affect me to the extent that I believe them. And in the same way, if you believe within your soul, within your subconscious mind, that you are lovable, then nobody can take that belief away from you. But if you don't believe that you're lovable, people can leverage that belief against you. And that's where they can profit off of you and have power over you. This is not any rocket science. This isn't conspiracy. This isn't anything beyond the realm of your mind. You have to focus on changing the inner matrix. Now, are there ways that you can detox from the external matrix? Yes, there are. Okay, and those are things that I personally practice myself. For one, you could stop watching the news. Stop watching the news. There is no reason for you to watch the news. You're not staying informed. You're only being shown what they want you to see to influence your subconscious thought patterns. You can get off of social media. I know some of you have brands to run, you have businesses that you're trying to scale. Use social media specifically for that cause. Don't follow anybody. Okay, don't consume any content on social media. Use it to create, not to consume. And I know that's probably bad for my personal branding, but you can choose to watch my videos if you want. I like to consider my videos to be a safe space, but you have to be cognizant of what you're consuming. If you are going to consume, you have to be cognizant of what you're consuming. You have to ascertain whether or not something is designed to empower you or disempower you. And that's something that comes with time. And I would recommend that everybody take at least 30 days away from social media. In addition to that, stop watching pornography. A big part of how these media companies or these elites, these people, these higher ups control your subconscious mind is by leveraging your innate biological desires. They take your innate desire for sex, the urges that we always talk about on NoFap or semen retention, and they use those against you. They use those against you to get what they want. And like I said, they are programming people to program you. A lot of the people on these pornography websites, a lot of these rappers, a lot of the people that are propagating the messages from these higher ups, they're just as asleep as you are. But with you having watched this video, you're not asleep anymore. Now you're aware. Now it's on you to determine what you're going to do with this information. Now for me personally, like I said, I'm doing the things that enable me to protect my energy. Okay, I'm controlling my mental diet. For as much as I control my physical diet, I control my mental diet twice as much. I put in much more effort into controlling that because in the grand scheme of things, it's more important. It's much more important. Your mental diet is everything. You have to watch the content that you consume, but even more so, you need to focus on doing the shadow work, on doing the inner child healing, figuring out your core perceptions about yourself and about the world at large, and figuring out why you hold those perceptions. Okay, and that's something that I do like to touch on in a lot of my videos is how to go down the rabbit hole of your own mind. You have to be willing and able, and we're all able, so you just have to be willing to go down the rabbit hole of your mind and determine why you are the way that you are. Because once you figure out the root cause of why you perceive things the way that you do, why your internal matrix is constructed the way that it is, you can then deconstruct that matrix because it's all mental. So you can really dissolve it, and then you can reconstruct a more empowering matrix. You can start to view reality from the perspective of being empowered, of having the freedom to create your life as you please without the subconscious influence of the media matrix. If there was ever a video that would get me killed, this is it right here. But if it did, I would die happy. I would die fulfilled knowing that I freed thousands, if not millions of people from their own minds.